At the beginning of the story, we see Jason, the most powerful man in the world. Jason has now become an ordinary laborer who toils like a dog near a terribly hot boiler every day. Even after doing backbreaking hard work all day, he gets only 200 in the name of daily wages. All the laborers were very angry about this. Just then, that wicked factory owner directly called the anti-riot police. As soon as the police arrived, they started raining batons and rubber bullets on the laborers. Jason ran to save the injured laborers, but suddenly he also took a strong hit and fell down. The police started beating Jason brutally. Jason angrily grabbed the policeman's baton and slammed him straight to the ground. Then, with the same baton, he smashed the policeman's face. Then he turned around in anger and laid another policeman on the ground with a single strike of the stick. He started yelling at the policeman in anger. After finishing work at night, Jason returned to his home. Even though his work was exhausting, he had a small and very lovely family. His wife was young and extremely beautiful, who had given him a sweet little daughter. Seeing his daughter playing in the crib, Jason felt like he had gotten all the happiness in the world. But that same night, this happiness of his was going to be snatched away forever. At that time, Jason had just come out of the shower and was about to go eat food with his wife. Suddenly, he saw that his wife was lying on the floor. He was panicking and about to check the situation when Jason regained consciousness, he saw that his wife was dead and the police officers were aiming guns at him. In Jason's hand was a blood-soaked knife. Therefore, the policeman directly assumed that he was the one who murdered his wife. In this way, poor Jason was framed on the false charge of his own wife's murder and was sent to the dreaded prison of Terminal Island. As soon as he arrived in the prison, ice-cold water was thrown on him. He was beaten severely, and by sprinkling white powder on his wounds, he was made a new prisoner. In the cell where Jason was kept, there were already 3 dangerous thugs present who were staring at him with very lustful eyes. As soon as the prison guard left from there, terrifying sounds of fighting started coming from inside the cell. The guard thought that those thugs must have given Jason a good beating. He came back laughing to enjoy the scene, but seeing the sight inside, his senses flew away. Jason was standing with a lot of swag with both hands in his pockets, as if nothing could happen to him, and all 3 of those dangerous thugs were lying flat on the ground. The next day, as soon as Jason's new face arrived in the canteen, it started catching everyone's attention, and everyone was talking about him, how before becoming this laborer, Jason used to be a very famous champion racer. After getting married and having a child, Jason had quit racing. No one had even dreamed that now. These guys were from the Brotherhood gang, and it was clear that they deliberately wanted to pick a fight. One thug deliberately spat in Jason's food. Just then, the boss of those thugs, Rex, also arrived there and stood right behind Jason to show off his bullying. But he didn't know who he had picked a fight with today. Jason got up and smashed his face directly with the food plate. Then another thug stepped forward, and Jason finished him off too. Rex's thug landed a strong punch. Jason got angry, and he broke Rex's arm. After this huge chaos, Jason was presented before Grace. This blonde-haired Grace was very cruel and ruthless. If she didn't like someone's words, she would have the prisoners beaten with sticks. But Grace knew about Jason's strong racing experience and his fantastic record. Therefore, she wanted Jason to take part in the death race happening on Terminal Island. Actually, Terminal Island Prison used to broadcast this race of prisoners live to earn money. The bloodier the race, the higher its TRP on TV. In the previous race, the most liked racer by people was a masked prisoner. But in the previous race, Victor broke all rules and fired a cannonball at him and blew him up in the air. Due to his death, the race's TV TRP fell drastically. Therefore, Grace wanted Jason to wear the mask and take part in that race so that the falling TRP could be saved. In the memory of his daughter, Jason had no other choice. He was forced to say yes. Jason was taken to the vehicle's workshop, and he was handed over to that old masked racer's team. The leader of this team was a very old and experienced mechanic whom everyone called Coach. The rest of the team members also warmly welcomed Jason. Coach showed Jason his dangerous racing car. This car was made by modifying a Ford Mustang A80. It had a V8 engine installed, which produced a massive power of 850 horsepower and 700 pounds of torque. Apart from all these things, Coach had also applied some of his special modifications to it. Thick iron bulletproof plates of 0.75 inches were installed all around the car. At the back, There was a 6-inch thick heavy iron shield, which Coach called the Tombstone. Ahead of the car, 2 heavy machine guns were installed. Inside, there were petrol bombs, smoke bombs, and many escape systems. This was not a car, it was a machine of death. Jason saw a button in the car which had a danger mark on it. He felt that it was some dangerous missile button, but Coach told him it was just a cigarette lighter. Jason asked about the other racers. Brotherhood Gang's boss Rex, whom Jason had already clashed with, and the most dangerous one was Machine Gun Victor. He was a top racer giving tough competition. Victor was the one who blew the old masked racer to pieces with his cannon. This was Jason's biggest enemy. They were just talking when suddenly some new prisoners arrived there. All of them had GPS tracking bracelets tied to their hands. Coach told him that this is put on death row prisoners to stop them from escaping. Seeing these bracelets, Jason remembered that the night his wife was murdered, the unknown killer also had exactly the same bracelet tied on his hand. Jason's mind clicked. Was his wife's murder and his coming to this prison to take part in the race pre-planned? Jason swore that he would uncover this entire mystery. Bus arrived there from which extremely hot girls got down. They were chosen from the women's prison so that they could become the racers' navigators. Jason's navigator was even more killer, seeing whom anyone would break a sweat. Her name was Lily, and she also knew the secret of this masked man's revenge. The car windows closed and Jason took off his mask. Seeing this, Lily was completely shocked, but despite being shocked, she stayed calm. Because her plan fit perfectly, the race actually started. As soon as the lights turned on, all cars started flying in the air. In the first lap, weapons couldn't be used. Everyone just had to show their speed. All cars started hitting each other. Luckily, Lily knew every inch of the racetrack. She told Jason to cross the barricades and take an empty side path where Jason increased his speed and left several cars behind in a flash. But Victor wasn't one to give up so easily. His car was a heavy Dodge Ram pickup. The front of the car had sharp spikes. They collided, and it had a terrifying machine gun and a rocket launcher on the roof. It was looking absolutely terrifying. He hit Jason's car hard. Jason couldn't match his power. On Grace's orders, the weapons system of the cars was turned on. Now the racers had to drive their cars over the sword and shield marks on the ground. The sword button gave weapons and the shield one gave defense equipment. There was also a skull mark, driving over which meant instant death. The tattooed guy Ghost had just killed an arrogant racer and was showing off a lot of attitude. But by mistake, he came in front of Victor. Victor got angry and locked his aim right on him. As soon as he got the weapon button, Victor rained a barrage of bullets on him. But Ghost got the shield button and a huge iron shield came out from the back of his car. But even with this, Ghost couldn't be saved and his car started skidding badly. He again took the weapon button and attacked the people going ahead. But what did he know that the ones ahead had also taken weapons? They burst all the tires of Ghost's car. A car coming from behind hit him hard. His car flipped in the air multiple times and crashed. People didn't stop there. Seeing the right opportunity, he fired a missile too. Ghost's car blew to pieces.